Arsenal fans were promised an unprecedented summer transfer window, and boy did they get it. New striker? Tick. Victor Gyökeres is your man. Bukayo Saka backup? Hello, Noni Maduk. An improvement on the left flank? Ebereki Ease has arrived. This certainly feels like the best opportunity the Gunners have had to win the Premier League title since Mikel Arteta arrived. The trouble is, Liverpool have also gone big, breaking the British record transfer fee on 2 occasions in the same summer. First to bring Florian Wirtz to Anfield, and then on deadline day, finally getting the Alexander Isak deal done. It's a scary proposition for the rest of the division. What Arsenal will need is consistency. They will need to not only be dogged, but they will also require no bad performances. They simply cannot afford another Rob Holding situation. What a campaign it was for the Gunners in 2022-23. The football played was arguably the best of the Arteta era, and they should have walked away with the title in their arms. They went on to miss out on the title to Manchester City by just 5 points, and it was arguably because of their run of form at the back end of the campaign. It all started with a clash against Sporting CP in the Europa League. William Saliba picked up a rather innocuous injury and was forced off. The ramifications of that event in March 2023 were not realized until the campaign was said and done. Saliba didn't play another minute of the season, and Holding was the deputy. While he helped marshal Arteta's side to back-to-back 4-1 wins over Leeds and Crystal Palace, the Gunners only won 5 of their last 11 league matches, meaning they missed out on the title. Holding, although he scored against Man City, was particularly to blame during their 4-1 defeat at the Etihad in late April, with Jamie Carragher explaining after proceedings that Holland versus the Arsenal defense was a physical mismatch. Unsurprisingly, Holding's part in Arsenal's title defeat saw him leave the club that summer. He headed to Crystal Palace, and to sum up his decline, he played just 90 minutes in an Eagles shirt. Seemingly scarred from that run of games, Arteta has since bolstered his backline significantly. Saliba came off in the defeat at Anfield, and despite their loss, Christian Mosquera, a new signing from Valencia, performed superbly well. The difference between him and Holding was seismic. Yet, 2 years on from that incident, Arteta must learn again. No passengers are allowed if they're to finally get over the line. After signing Gyökeres, Maduk, and Ease this summer, it certainly feels as though the Arsenal side is more polished. It has more firepower and more variation as they attempt to beat Man City and Liverpool. Gyökeres, while he was starved of service at Old Trafford and Anfield, has scored twice already in Arsenal colours, while Ease and Maduk look vibrant in their limited minutes too. Who doesn't look vibrant and full of energy is Gabriel Martinelli, arguably Arsenal's new Holding. That verdict might well be harsh, but the fact of the matter is that the Brazilian has regressed significantly. He looks like the weak link, and if he starts regular matches this term, he could be the reason the Gunners miss out again. Reports last week claimed that Arsenal would have been happy to sell Martinelli this summer, provided an asking price of £60 million was met. However, to rubber stamp the winger's fall from grace, suitors were only willing to pay £40 million. It wasn't long ago that the forward was described as a talent of the century by Jurgen Klopp. It wasn't long ago either that he was finishing as one of Arsenal's top scorers. In that 2022-23 term, where everything was firing, he netted 15 times, finishing as joint top scorer in the squad alongside Saka and Martin Odegaard. It was hardly a surprise that club legend Robert Pires saw similarities between himself and the wide forward. Gabriel Martinelli looks like me. He looks a lot like me because he's a dribbler, he scores goals, and he is quick, Pires stated back in 2024. Since then, even if he has scored in the Bernabeu, the 24-year-old really should have kicked on, but he has failed to deliver consistent numbers. He scored 8 times in 2023-24 and on 10 occasions in 2024-25. Those aren't disastrous numbers, but it's a reduction in output, just as it looked like he was ready to explode and realize his immense potential. It's rather remarkable that just 7 months ago, Pires also stated that he thought Martinelli could have got into the Invincibles starting lineup. While certain sections of the fanbase have been on the attacker's back for a few years now, the penny seemed to drop with his performance at Anfield in the 1-0 defeat. Having not played a single minute during the 5-0 win over Leeds, Martinelli was handed a start off the left against Liverpool and really disappointed. Chalkboard. Football Fancast's Chalkboard series presents a tactical discussion from around the global game. Starting at right back was Dominik Szoboszlai, a midfielder by trade, but the Brazil international failed to really do anything to trouble the Hungarian. We've seen Martinelli really enjoy this fixture in the past. He's had the better of Trent Alexander-Arnold on several occasions, but there wasn't a single moment where he ever looked like he'd get the better of Szoboszlai. It was sad to see, in all honesty. He had completed just 6 passes by the time he was hauled off on 70th minutes, and in that time, he didn't have a single shot or complete a key pass. Speaking during the aftermath of the game, Theo Walcott stated, "Szoboszlai was incredible, but the reason why he was incredible, he wasn't tested at all. You got a center mid at fullback. For me, that's music to my ears." For Martinelli, he only continues to falter. Against United, he also struggled, completing just 3 passes and only 1 key pass. If Arsenal are going to improve this season and win the league, then Arteta must learn from that holding situation. Ease and Maduk represent upgrades and must play. If not, then the Gunners could be staring at a repeat situation where one of their players lets them down in their quest to be crowned champions of England.